If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl with us for a few minutes this morning. Mayor, I said earlier in the show, the COVID numbers from the state of Alabama where people have been hospitalized since March 13th. I said March 13th seems like 100 years ago.
It does. It sure does.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. And
things are continually fluid, changing, and some good news for our city already, and then we're opening up City Hall Monday.
Monday at 8 o'clock it will be opened up. Everything is laid out. The biggest thing is your social distancing of 6. The governor's released the quantity of 10 people to gather at 6. Now, it doesn't make any difference as long as you can maintain that 6 foot, and also your hygiene, maintain that as well.
And you will have
absolutely
the cleaning
fluid. We've got we're worried for a while there, but it's all come together now. We got plenty of it, and it'll be good to get back and get. But we don't want to get too complacent with this, though, because this flu it's not gone yet. It could pop up again, but we got to be careful. Yeah. But we've done a good job, and I thank the citizens of Sylacauga being so cooperative and.
So what's going to be happening Monday as far as services provided?
Well, the city of Sylacauga, of course, the county building is going to open up too. They got a heavy load of public traffic in there with the car tags and the driver's license and all that. The city doesn't have that big a quantity of people coming in. And this has taught us, we've been able to do so much to serve the people of Sylacauga without them having to come in and being face to face. And we're going to look at some type of softwares in the future there to come up into the 21st century and be able to do a lot of this either by phone or online or through electronic mailing,
So why would people begin coming in Monday to City Hall? What are the services available?
Well, usually the police department, they will want to pick up accident reports and other reports, domestic violence, whatever police reports, they have a right to pick those up. The court's office, they always have people coming in there. There's fines they have to pay. A lot of them been paying them over the phone or other means, and the clerk's office, people are always coming in to get permits and license.
City council meetings, will they come back as we've known them?
We'll have our agenda for next Tuesday.
Okay.
We'll still maintain what we've had in the past. We already have the Faye Hosey room already fixed up. It's already separated. The court's office will probably look at having their court there at City Hall. Right now we got 4 rows. See if we'll take one out and just have 3 and have 10 in each row. They will be laid out, just 30 in the room at a time for the judge to handle their cases that have to be listened to by the judge.
A lot of people don't realize, man, when we have a court date in Sylacauga, City Hall's wrapped up normally.
200 to 300 people. But that's going to have to be cut back. There will be primary cases that will be taken. Of course, incarcerated people, they've got a right to be their cases heard by a judge, by the judge, which is Barry Bond, our city judge. That has to happen. Last month they were able to get around it. I forget exactly what that was. You have to get with the courts to answer that question, But I just tickle, to death that things are moving. But we don't want to move too fast. Like I said, we don't get too places now. Don't get out there and start hugging and.
People are still dying. It's a deadly disease.
It will. I mean, the death is inevitable for all of us, but you don't have to push it.
Yeah. Beautiful flyover this past week too.
It was. We can't thank I think 908. Cargo Air Wing, the Hercules came over. That was great, and the people here in Sylacauga made that happen.
Kind of,
you know who that was?
Yeah. Kind of caused chill bumps to come over.
Well, it does when you see a big Hercules like that coming over there. I know when I was overseas, we had 130, but they weren't even a third that size. But today is National Law Enforcement Day, and our flags will be set at half-staff. And if you're wondering why, that is why. And the president of the has declared this as National Police Officers Day, and remembering those who have passed on the line of duty.
Yeah, so we've got Police Officers Day. We've also got Nurses Week. We've also got Hospital Week. It's a busy time.
Well, it is, and first responders, we want to remember all these people. They've been so gracious and really stuck their necks out to really help. They've really given a lot. And
Sylacauga. Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl with us this morning. Governor Ivey relaxed some of the guidelines a week or so ago. Some of the restaurants began to open up Monday.
Yeah.
Have you been able to get the pulse of how things are going so far?
Well, yeah, I've been in some of them, and I just left one this morning to come down here. I had to go by and get some Hickory Street Cafe breakfast. But it's all been the distancing. That's the biggest thing, and of course your hygienes as well. Those are the two most important parts. So that's what we want to keep in mind. And I think people are starting to, and even though I was talking to one of the managers of one of our local restaurants, fast food restaurants, asked him how it was going. He said, well, inside hasn't picked up that much, but our outside is covered. He said he's doing good. I said, well, how's the revenue showing? He said, we haven't had any problem. And that's pretty good, because people, I ride around town looking at some of these drive-thrus, and all of them are slap dab full.
A lot of restaurants, they tend to like that,
Well, they do. It's quick service for them. And it doesn't take quite as many. But now they'll be able to bring the people back, you know, and things have changed. And we've learned a lot from this, being isolated, the way we had stay-at-home rules and all that. People are finding better ways to live their lives. I like to see the sports come back, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. And thank goodness our 144 graduates of Sylacauga High School will graduate.
On Memorial Day weekend.
It's going to be a wonderful time, and we're planning for that, and again, we're just so glad for those graduates. It's so important for them to have their caps and gowns and their tassels to throw aside, after they receive their diploma. But Dr. John Seegers and the Board of Education taking care of all that for these kids.
Talladega County, they're graduating this month as well, so it's a happy time.
Comer and Fayetteville, Childersburg, they're all.
Yeah. Mayor, with the COVID-19 as it has been, and the new day that we're living in, I don't know if we're going to go back to where we were in the past, but it is such good news to see us moving forward.
It is. It's moving forward. Our city's moving forward, and we got contractors and developers that never left us. They're still here. Of course, that takes months to get all the red tape out of the way there, and things are happening. And yes, it's going to change our lives a little bit. We're not going back to the way we were 100%, but we are gradually getting back. And we've learned, like I said, we learned so much from this, a new way of working, and a new way of serving the people of Sylacauga. That's so beneficial to us.
Something that's close to your heart is churches, and churches are going to be reopening as well. All I got to do is maintain that 6 foot. That's all we're asking, and the hygienes, and that's what the governor is stressing as well. That groups of 10, no more than 10, has been lifted. So here we are in the latter part of mid-May now, and if things continue to go as they look like they're going right now, what do you see the final half of 2020 as far as growth in Sylacauga?
Well, like I said, we do have some developers here that are looking at us, and they haven't left us yet, so I can't speak into depth about it yet. But
are you encouraged by it?
Yes, absolutely. It's growth for Sylacauga. We're still growing. We didn't shut down. Our staff there at City Hall, and all the departments, they've still made the service to all the people. We're still working with our contractors and our developers, and I just waiting for get to the point of where our kids can get back into the fields of basketball, soccer, and football, and I'm sure that there'll be some distancing in that area as well. But I'm just tickled to death about it, and I'm really tickled how efficient that we were able to operate, even under these conditions.
It's amazing.
It is. And like I said, we're learning a lot from it, and it's going to bring us more to the future, and it's going to make it more convenient for our people. We hope to get to the point, where they don't have to run the City Hall, for every little thing. Maybe we can do it electronically or through the telephone or by mail, make it more convenient for everybody. Especially, I look at the contractors, see them come in, they go up to the code departments, they got to get this, then they got to go down and pay their fee and everything else. But they come in early in the morning, about 7 o'clock, because they got to get back on the job. That's time wasted. Now we can get to the point.
What is the code department?
That is the one that handles all the engineering and the inspections of the city. Building a house to building a big store, they go in there and they inspect them. expansion of our industries in the Sylacauga area. They inspect all those. We got building inspectors, electrical inspectors, and plumbing inspectors. And anytime you do some remodeling and everything, this is for the safety of people and get the quality. We're under the 2012 Alabama State Code, and that's the newest code is about 2015. And these codes change, about every 5 years or so. And but it's just to protect the property owner and gives them the quality that's safe for the public as well. I know one person here bought a building, he had to put in a shower system, fire patrol, and that was expensive. That was about one of the most expensive things that you have to do, but it's done right now. The quality's there, the safety's there, and that goes a long ways in cutting down on his liability and insurance.
There's a gentleman here in town that has, I'm assuming he's purchased some of these buildings in downtown Sylacauga and is remodeling them. And I tell you, from the outside looking, it looks great. Any idea what some of this might become later on?
Well, under the new city codes and everything else in the zoning areas, they're going to be more versatile, what they can do with it. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday afternoon, and I said talking about his piece of property, what he can do with it now, which he couldn't do before the old ordinances were in place. Now, when you got these ordinances, opens it up, or they can have loft apartments, they can live downstairs and operate in the front, and there's so many versatile ideas. It's really what they really want to get invested in, and what they got, and it's going to help a lot on the amount of how they borrow their money too. That's going to make a difference too. If they have to go to the bank or something like that, well, doggone, here you are under this new code. Yeah, we'll be glad to support you, because if this fails, you got this to back up with, So
the president and Congress, they've formulated these plans for these small business loans, and a lot of businesses are able to take advantage of that here and there.
Well, they have, and we think the CDA here in Sylacauga, just a small group as they are, had about $20,000, and they're spending out thousands of dollars. People apply for that. They're able to give our small businesses $1,000 a piece, and that goes a long ways helping them get through this little tight area we're in now. And also, one thing I'd like to mention to you too is the census coming up. It goes all the way.
It's kind of been on the back burner a little bit,
Well, it has, but we can't let it go, because our census is extremely important. We're at 57.7% here in Sylacauga. We are higher than the state and the county.
Explain why it's so important.
It's money. It's federal money coming down through ADECA, through LDOT, and other companies like divisions like that through the state. And for us to be able to have roads, bridges, education, hospitals, all this money goes into that. It has a lot to do with the amount of money we're able to receive, and the more money we can receive, the better service we can provide for our people.
Now, numbers are key here as far as population.
Very key. All this, I talked to the lady over there at, Sherry Nelson. She is the district director of the census here, and she's out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I couldn't understand some of the stuff. She's educated me highly in this respect, and but it goes to the households. They know how many houses are in Sylacauga. My concern is that's good. All right, we got 57.7 of those. We need to get all of them in there. But what about the people who rent? How are we counting them? The housing authority. How are we counting them? We got to make sure we get all of our citizens who live in Sylacauga counted, because that's going to be more revenue for our city and more services that we can provide for the people and maintain our roads and our bridges.
We all receive the census packet, but a lot of things have happened since then, and maybe people are unsure how they can be counted.
Well, that's it. It's a package. You got a number there, and you can do it three ways. You can take that number and call it in. You can do it by electronic, or you can go ahead and just mail it back to them. And that way you're not receiving that direct contact like they used to do years ago. They come and knock on your door, But I just tickle, we do need a good, accurate count. I think only 70-something% in 2010 were counted, households were counted in Sylacauga. That's what she explained to me yesterday, and I said, gosh, how could we miss almost 30% of them,
If I'm asked question other than COVID-19 has something to do with that. If I'm asked a question other than that in recent months, it's been to do with growth in Sylacauga, new businesses coming into Sylacauga, and always at the top of the list, Mayor, and I know this is no surprise to you because you hear it more than I do, is grocery stores. And we've got, what, 3-4 grocery stores here in Sylacauga now.
Well, you do. You got 2 for Piggly Wiggly, and you've got Save, what's that?
Buy Low or Save a Lot, whatever that is.
Whatever that, Save a Lot, and of course Walmart. They got groceries there. Is there another one coming? We hope so. It'll be a different quality of groceries, but we don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's still one of them things that's up in the air.
All right. Sylacauga Mayor Jim Heigl reminding you City Hall opens Monday and all social distancing regulations will remain in place. Matter of fact, you got that tape you're going to put on the floor, right?
The tape is already on the floor. Okay. It'll be 6-foot spacing, and do please, with the hand sanitizers are there, please use that. And but the county's building, of course, they got a deputy sheriff there to, when you come in, he can control the crowd coming in. City Hall, we don't have that much heavier duty. 2 or 3 people may come in during the day, and they're pretty well spaced out anyway. We will have 1 entrance and 1 exit. These are the doors facing Broadway. You come up the front of the City Hall, you see their entrance. You go in there. When you get ready to leave, exit is on the other side. So you're not crossing each other.
Even I can figure that out, surely.
Oh, I hope so. I tell you what, it was a brainstorm to try to get it together.
Mayor, thanks a lot for dropping by this morning.
Well, thank you very much, and best to our police officers, and remember those who fall into duty. Thank you so much.
We salute them today. More Daybreak just ahead.